My CEO wife threw a massive welcome home party for her childhood crush. The guy tried to take advantage of her while she was drunk and take her to a hotel, but I intercepted them. That night I worked my charm and ended up sleeping with her. The next day she woke up absolutely furious and demanded a divorce. Chun-Che, pretend nothing happened last night. If you don't sign, I won't let you off. I looked at the $500 million in divorce assets, signed the paper instantly, and laughed. I transmigrated into this book. Woe wants to play the miserable second lead. I got my payout, time to run. I transmigrated right to the day my CEO wife threw that party for her crush. Checking the time, I realized things were bad. Any later, and they would be heading to a hotel room. I have no interest in wearing a green hat. I grabbed my coat, brought some bodyguards just in case, and rushed out the door. I drove straight to the hotel. The moment I walked into the lobby, I saw my wife passed out on a sofa. Right then, her precious crush walked over from the front desk with a room key card. He looked at her and said, "Zhu Yao, you are drunk. Let me take you to a room to rest." He reached out to grab her, but I shoved him back with a dark face. "Who the hell are you to take my wife to a hotel room?" Lucci stumbled and almost fell. Regaining his balance, shock flashed in his eyes, quickly turning into rage. "You must be Chun-Che," he sneered. "If I had not gone abroad, Zhu Zhao would have never married you. You are just my replacement," he sneered, looking incredibly smug. "Oh right. She told me she saved herself for 3 years. You are a pathetic husband." I did not even bother replying to his nonsense. I simply turned to my bodyguards and ordered them to carry her to the car. "What are you doing? Put her down," Lucci yelled, trying to push past. I blocked him, glaring coldly. "Lucci, I am saying this one last time. Zhu Yao is my wife. Keep messing around, and I will put you both on the trending search list. Let the whole world see how eager this brilliant young man is to be a home. Think carefully if you can handle the combined wrath of the Su and Lu families." My words slapped him right in the face. Lucci was just an illegitimate son, and old man Su always looked down on him, thinking he was completely unfit for polite society. That was why they sent him abroad. If he forced Zhu Zhao into a room and I caused a public scandal, old man Su would be furious. He could never survive that anger. Looking into my cold eyes, he finally realized I was not joking. He stood frozen, his face pale with powerless rage as he watched my bodyguards put Zhu Zhao into the car before driving off. I flashed him a smug, mocking look that nearly gave him a stroke. Holding Zhu Hao in the back seat, smelling her sweet, intoxicating scent, my heart raced. This woman was seriously breathtaking, with a stunning figure that puts top celebrities to shame. She almost fell into the hands of that bastard Luch. Once we got home, I took a quick shower and immediately lay down right next to her. In the original novel, the two of them always slept in separate rooms. Leaving such a gorgeous, leggy wife to sleep alone is practically a crime. I cursed the original owner 100 times in my mind. Feeling absolutely zero guilt, I reached out and wrapped my arm around her slender waist. Just as my hand started to wander, her soft fingers grabbed mine. A flush rose on her cheeks as she murmured, we are not divorced yet." But when she opened her blurry eyes and saw my face, her gaze turned ice cold. I paused, stopping my hands. I casually replied, "I am your husband. If not me, who else?" "Were you hoping for another man?" Zhu Yao choked on her words. She tried to push me away, but she had no strength left. Frowning, she glared at me. "Chun-Che, let go of me. Who told you to sleep here? Get out." I chuckled and held her even tighter. "We are married. Is sharing a bed not perfectly natural?" "Shameless," she gasped, her chest heaving with rage. I sighed gently in her ear, making my voice sound incredibly lonely and defeated. "Zhu Zhao, have you not been begging me to sign the divorce papers? After all, I have served you faithfully for 3 whole years, making you breakfast every morning. When you were sick last year, I stayed by your hospital bed for 7 days and nights. Every time you came home drunk, I made you hangover soup. You said you wanted to save yourself for your crush, and did I ever touch a single hair on your head?" I sniffled, almost squeezing out real tears. "I have taken care of you without a single complaint all these years. Even if you do not love me, my devotion counts for something. It's holding you for one night, really too much." Her stiff body slowly relaxed, showing a rare flash of guilt. "I am sorry. I will compensate you generously," she whispered. I gritted my teeth, acting as if I had made a massive decision. "Just let me hold you tonight, and I will sign those papers tomorrow." She stared at me in disbelief. She had demanded a divorce dozens of times, and I had always refused. She never dared to make a scene, fearing her grandfather would find out. Now that I was bringing it up, she could not believe her ears. "Are you really willing to sign?" I looked at her with eyes full of sorrow, my voice heavy with grief. "Zhu Yao, everyone calls me your ultimate simp. Everyone knows you are more important to me than my own life. Because I love you, I am choosing to let you go. I just want you to be happy." Zhu Zhao's heart melted. Memories of my endless care over the past 3 years flashed through her mind, filling her with deep regret. Her guilt intensified, but she still looked at me with lingering suspicion. "Just holding me?" she asked, with a broken, tragic expression. I nodded firmly and raised my right hand. I swear. She blinked, staring intensely into my eyes. All she saw was pure sincerity. Chun-Che, you had better behave yourself. Behave yourself, I whispered sweet, comforting words for a while until she finally let her guard down completely. A woman softening her heart is always the start of trouble. In the dead of night, with sparks flying between us, our bodies pressed tightly together. As the hours passed, I could clearly feel her body getting warmer and her breathing turning shallow. Swept up by the alcohol, she slowly lost herself in the passion. In the end, everything that should and should not have happened, our wild night did not stop until dawn. That morning I was woken up by a ringing phone. It was not my phone, but she was exhausted from her very first time and was sleeping deeply. Seeing Liu Kai's name flash on the screen only annoyed me. I shut off her phone, took a quick shower, and was just stepping out when the doorbell rang at the worst moment. Wrapping a towel around myself, I opened the door to find Liu Qi standing there with a dark, angry face. I chuckled. "Mr. Liu, what brings you here so early?" His eyes immediately locked onto the fresh scratch marks covering my chest. "Did you sleep together?" he growled. "We are legally married. Is there a problem with that?" But then I yawned and waved my hand. "No, you are over. Zhu Zhao has saved herself for you. How could she ever like me? You totally misunderstood. The payout had not cleared yet, so I could not admit anything. If she backed out, I would lose everything." Liu Qi glared at me, his face turning blue with rage. "Misunderstood? Chun-Che, do you think I am blind? What are those scratches on your body?" I frowned, growing impatient. "My cat scratched me, all right? By what right are you questioning me? Get this straight. Until we are officially divorced, I am still her husband." Liu Qi clenched his fists, his knuckles cracking. He took a deep breath, suppressing his fury. "Move. I want to see Zhu." I blocked the door with a playful smile. "Zhu Yao drank too much and is still asleep. If you force your way in and her grandfather finds out, he might visit your family to teach you some manners." Sure enough, at the mention of the old man, Liu Qi glaring at me, he realized he could not win this fight. Spitting out a threat, he hurried away. When I went back inside, I saw Zhu Yao was already out of bed. We're burning with pure anger. My heart shivered and I instantly activated my inner drama king. Looking completely pitiful, "Zhu Zhao, you are awake. I really cannot live without you. Let us not divorce, please. How am I supposed to survive without you?" She was furious. We had agreed to just cuddle, but I had taken advantage of her all night, and now I was backing out. Did I think she had no temper? Yet, meeting my sorrowful gaze, her heart inexplicably softened a bit. "Chun-Che," I kept my end of the deal. "Do not play any more tricks." She threw the divorce papers in front of me. "If you don't sign, I will make your life miserable." I stared at the $500 million asset division on the paper, my eyes nearly popping out. Before Trent, I was just a corporate slave working 80 hours a week. Although the original owner's family had a business, compared to the massive wealth of the SU family, it was completely incomparable. Moreover, the original host had an older brother and was not the family heir. Otherwise, he would not have spent 3 years of marriage as a house husband. This was not a divorce agreement yet. Was a ticket to absolute financial freedom. Seeing me hesitate to sign, her face grew darker. "Chun-Che, do not push your luck." Before she could even finish her sentence, I signed the papers instantly and handed them back. "When will the money arrive?" Zhu Zhao was completely stunned, looking at me with suspicion. "You really agreed to the divorce?" What did she mean? "I've already signed." She was not going to back out, was she? But at this critical moment, I could not look too eager. I grabbed her soft hand, looking tragic. "Zhu Zhao, you know I cannot live without you, but I respect your choice." She quickly pulled her hand away, visibly relieved, and called her assistant to make the transfer. Soon I received the notification. Looking at the long string of zeros, I almost laughed out loud. In my excitement, I grabbed her and kissed her cheek. Remembering last night, she shoved me away furiously. "Get out, I never want to see you again." Seeing her murderous glare, I shivered and fled in panic. After I left, Zhu Yao sat on the sofa, completely dazed. Remembering our wild night, her mind was still a bit numb. She suddenly felt that I had changed. In the past, I would have never been so shamelessly persistent or clung to her like that. She thought signing the papers would bring her joy, but her heart felt strangely empty, as if she had lost something incredibly precious. Meanwhile, I wasted no time and immediately bought a luxury villa, to high-end sports cars, and hired 2 maids and a private driver. Life was finally looking up. The world inside novels is incredibly dangerous. There are always kidnappings, crazy rivals, and random criminals popping up out of nowhere. Safety is everything. After some thought, I gritted my teeth and hired 2 top-tier bodyguards to follow me everywhere except when I am eating or sleeping. After finishing all this, it was already evening. Suddenly my phone rang. It was Suzu. I frowned and answered. "Come back to the family mansion right now," she ordered. "We already signed the papers. Why should I listen to you?" I flatly refused. The line went silent for 3 seconds. "Grandfather wants to see you," she hissed. Hearing it was her grandfather, I decided to go. The old man had a deep, lifelong friendship with the original owner's grandfather, who had once saved his life. In fact, our marriage was entirely arranged by him. The Su family was a true powerhouse and my family was absolutely nothing compared to them. Most of the Su family despised the original owner, but the old man genuinely treated him like his own grandson. I rushed over to the mansion. The moment I stepped inside, I felt a heavy, suffocating atmosphere. Su Zoyao and Lu Qi were standing to the side with their heads bowed, not daring to breathe. Leaning on his dragon head cane, the old man sat in a mahogany chair, his face dark with rage. "Hello, grandfather," I greeted respectfully. His expression softened slightly. "Ah, Che, you have been wronged. Come sit by me." Remaining completely calm, I walked over to his side. It seemed he already knew about Zhu Zhao divorcing me for Lu Qi. Suddenly Lu Qi fell to his knees with a loud thud. "Grandpa, Su Zoyao and I are in love. Please do not let my family send me abroad again. She is pregnant with my child. Please bless us." Hearing this, even Su Zoyao's eyes widened in complete shock and utter disbelief. I immediately understood what was happening. In his desperation, Lu Qi was willing to tell such a ridiculous lie. Zhuao was a virgin until last night with me, so she could not possibly be carrying his child. Clearly, they had not discussed this lie beforehand. This guy, he'll stop at nothing to get what he wants. Once he sleeps with Su Zhuao, even if the old man finds out she isn't pregnant, it'll be too late anyway. But hey, I already got my payout. I don't care about their mess. Su Zhuao bit her lip, looking at me with a complicated expression. Before he could speak, the old man started shaking with rage. "What did you say?" He slammed his cane down, stood up, pointed a trembling finger at Lu Qi, and glared at Suzy. "Zhuya, is this true?" She was so terrified her face went completely pale. She frantically shook her head. "No, Grandpa, it's not true." But Lu Qi quickly cut in, a calculating gleam in his eyes. "Grandpa Su, it's been almost 1 month. Zhuya was too scared to tell you, but the baby is innocent. Please, for the sake of this child, just bless us." The old man was absolutely furious. He slammed his cane hard onto the floor. "Su Zuyao, how did our family raise someone so shameless?" Tears welled up in her eyes. Lu Qi stopped, but Lu Qi interrupted. "Since things have come to this, let's not hide it from Grandpa anymore." Lu Qi interrupted her again, desperately winking at her. Seeing him like this, she was both angry and anxious, but I guess her first love still had a hold on her. She stopped arguing, silently accepting it, though her gaze towards me grew even more complicated. I stood beside the old man, playing along with a face full of disbelief, shock, and heartbreak. Right on cue, the old man lost his temper, pointing and screaming at them like a live family drama. I just stood there watching the show, completely dead inside, totally unfazed. Instead, I was busy planning how to spend my newly acquired fortune. Once the old man finished venting, he had the butler throw them out. Then he turned and forced a priceless Teng's Dynasty Bodhi bead bracelet into my hands. "Che, our family has truly wronged you." I stayed for dinner before finally leaving. Over the next month, I used that initial capital to launch my investment journey. Thanks to my knowledge of this world's future, I targeted several tech startups destined to become unicorns. I put 300 million into one specific company. In 2 months, they will sign a massive deal with a global giant, skyrocketing their value 40 times over within a year. Getting in now was perfect timing. Once the 1-month divorce cool-off period ended, I headed straight to the Civil Affairs Bureau, where she and Lu Qi were already waiting. Lu Qi looked incredibly smug. "Hey, enjoy it while you can, buddy. You are in for a rough ride." In the original novel, he scammed several wealthy women abroad and even married a heavy black woman. He only returned because he couldn't hide anymore. The original me heard about this from a friend. Worried she was being conned, the original me told her immediately. Instead of believing it, she slapped him hard across the face and forced him to kneel. Apologized to Lu Qi. That was when he completely gave up on her, agreeing to the divorce without taking a single penny of her money. The original me chose to leave with absolutely nothing and moved abroad. Later, Lu Qi got his wish and married her, but he couldn't stay faithful. He used her money to keep multiple college girls on the side, but secrets never stay buried, and she eventually found out. That was when she finally saw through his lies. In a rage, she broke his third leg and sent him back to his heavy wife abroad to suffer. She regretted everything, wishing she could win her husband back. But hey, if she wants to be conned, I don't care. I don't have a savior complex. Those two deserve each other anyway. The moment the doors opened, I smiled at her gloomy face. "Let's go, ex." But she didn't budge, staring at me blankly. "Chunche, does divorcing me really make you that happy?" The joyful smile on my face instantly froze right there. I quickly switched to an affectionate, heartbroken expression, adding a perfect touch of bitterness to my voice. "Zuhao, do you really think I'd be happy right now?" I lowered my head, my voice raspy and trembling. "For the past month, not a single day went by without me missing you. I've been going crazy missing you, but I promised I'd let you go. So today, even if I'm dying inside, I'll put on a smile so you won't feel guilty." I looked up at her, letting my expression shatter beautifully. "After all, this is exactly what you wanted, isn't it?" seeing how miserable I was behind my fake smile, and hearing my heartbreaking words. Her expression grew even more torn. She opened her mouth to say something, but ultimately bit her lip and walked into the office first. Lucci gave me a smug sneer and quickly rushed to catch up with her. He tried to grab a hand, but she yanked it back as if shocked. "What are you doing?" Lucci's face turned incredibly sour. He wanted to mark his territory in front of me, but never expected her to react like that. He turned around and glared at me with pure hatred. I was actually surprised. According to the plot, they should be totally inseparable by now. But looking at them, he clearly hadn't sealed the deal yet. I couldn't resist teasing them. "Zhuzhao, Lucci came back all this way just for you, and you won't even let him hold your hand." She stopped dead in her tracks and glared at me with furious eyes. Lucci knew I was mocking him, shooting me a dirty look, but he forced a smile anyway. "It's fine. I've been away for so long. A little distance is completely normal. I'll wait for her forever." But hearing his affectionate speech didn't make her happy at all. Instead, she felt increasingly conflicted, which confused even her. Half an hour later, with the divorce papers officially in hand, I could finally drop the dramatic act. I nearly laughed out loud. "Well, I'm heading out first. I truly wish you two a happy marriage and a healthy baby very soon." Her face instantly turned incredibly dark. "Chunche, what on earth do you mean?" "Exactly what I said. Bye." With that, I got in my car and sped away. Once I got home, I received a sudden call from my old college roommate. "Hey, do you remember that girl who chased you for years in college? Your childhood sweetheart. Her mother is critically ill, and she's begging for loans everywhere. We pooled together what we could, but it's still not nearly enough. If you still care, go see her. She's had a really rough time these past few years, teaching while caring for her sick mother all alone." I suddenly remembered who he meant. It was the original Mez's childhood sweetheart. Her family used to be wealthy, but they went bankrupt when she was in high school, and life became a massive struggle. In college, her father was so crushed by debt that he jumped off a building to his death. Since we were kids, she was always my little shadow. In college, she clung to me every single day, and everyone knew she loved me. Sadly, my entire focus was on Su Zhuzhao back then. Right after graduation, I chose to enter a strategic marriage with the Su family, which absolutely devastated her. She was devastated, fell seriously ill, and we completely lost touch. In the original book, her mother's death broke her spirit. She fell into a deep depression, never married, and spent 10 years teaching before eventually collapsing on her classroom podium from pure exhaustion, never to wake up again. I immediately asked my roommate for the hospital address and had my driver rush me straight over. Following his directions, I found her mother's ward. A slender, frail figure stood with her back to the door, gently wiping the face of the unconscious woman. She was wearing a slightly faded yellow dress, with her long hair pinned back, exposing her fair, slender neck. I knocked gently on the door, and she spun around. She was absolutely gorgeous, tall and graceful, with eyes that shone like stars. However, her tightly furrowed brow was clouded with a deep, lingering sadness she couldn't hide. Just that one glance made a wave of endless compassion surge in my heart. Seeing me, her eyes widened in shock. She froze, her hand holding the towel suspended in midair. "Brother Ache," her voice was barely a whisper, filled with disbelief. "When in long time no see," I said, walking toward her. I flashed a warm, bright smile and walked in, placing the fresh fruit and supplements I'd just brought onto the bedside table. Her big eyes instantly welled up with tears, and she quickly turned away to wipe her wet eyelashes. She stood there, looking completely lost and overwhelmed. "Brother Ache, how did you know we were here?" But my expression suddenly shifted, and I stared at her with deep frustration. "Wenning, why didn't you tell me you were borrowing money everywhere for medical bills? Do you not consider me family anymore? We grew up together. Why would you keep such a massive struggle a secret from me? Didn't I tell you when we were kids that even if the sky falls, I'll hold it up for you?" Her eyes were red and she bit her lip to stop her tears, looking completely broken. Seeing her like this made my heart ache. My tone softened and my eyes filled with deep tenderness. "Little Wenning, I'm divorced now. From now on, let me take care of you." That single sentence broke her completely. She threw herself into my arms and sobbed for a very long time, venting all the pain she had bottled up for years. Holding her delicate body, my mind was surprisingly free of any stray thoughts, filled only with pure tenderness and compassion. That very day, I transferred her mother to the most prestigious private hospital in the city. Wenning also moved into my newly purchased villa. Since it was summer break, she didn't have classes to teach. I hired 2 private caregivers for her mother. But Wenning still insisted on visiting the hospital every single day to watch over her. One afternoon, as Wenning and I were leaving the hospital, we ran straight into my ex, Su Zhuzhao. She was clutching a medical report, but she quickly hid it behind her back the moment she saw me, walking right up to us. She glared at Wenning with pure, undisguised hostility in her eyes. She then turned a cold gaze toward me. "Chunche, we need to talk." Wenning tightened her grip on my arm. I gave her a reassuring nod and told her to wait in the car. Once Wenning left, Su Yao looked ready to explode. Chun Che, what on earth is your relationship with her? I just looked at her demanding expression. I found her demanding attitude pretty amusing. Miss Su, we are divorced, aren't we? Who I choose to be with is none of your business, Miss Su. She snapped, furious. You call her Wenning, but you call me Miss Su. Chun Che, you sure changed fast. She took a deep breath, trying to suppress her anger. Down her anger, her gaze swept over to the car, catching a glimpse of Wenning's shadow inside. She sneered, wow, we just divorced and you already can't wait to find a replacement. Or have you two been messing around? I laughed in her face. Right back at you. Before we even divorced, hadn't you already found your backup? She choked on my words, her face turning completely pale with rage. Her hand gripped the medical report even tighter, her knuckles turning white. Chun Che, you never used to talk to me like this. You've changed. People change. Miss Su. My gaze fell on her hand, which she was actively hiding behind her back. Miss Su, are you not feeling well? Or I dragged out my tone, staring mockingly at her stomach. You aren't actually pregnant, are you? Well, congratulations. Su Yao's face went paper white, like a cat whose tail had been stepped on. What nonsense are you talking about? My business has nothing to do with you. Go, fawn over your precious Wenning. She ran off in a fit of embarrassed rage. I watched her leave, feeling a bit puzzled by her reaction. But then, just half a month later, news spread that she and Lu Chi were getting engaged. Seriously, she is on her second marriage and still doing an engagement party. I scoffed at the sheer ridiculousness of it. Wenning lay in my arms, her eyes darting around, avoiding my gaze. Brother Ache, are you going? Seeing her guilty face, I knew she was hiding something. After I kissed her until she was completely breathless, she finally surrendered. Okay, fine. The Su family sent an invitation, but I secretly hid it. I pretended to be absolutely furious. You've got some serious nerve, girl. You need to be punished. Over an hour later, after she begged for mercy, I finally let her go. I definitely wasn't going to the party, I'm no masochist. But I still decided to send them a massive surprise gift. I hadn't been idle during this time. I secretly hired a private investigator to dig into Lu Kai's background, gathering a massive pile of dirt on him, complete with photos and videos. I even bribed a hotel staff member to play the footage during their engagement party to liven up the atmosphere. Sure enough, right after the party, Wenning came running to me in absolute excitement. Brother Ache, you will never guess what I just heard. You seriously won't believe it. But the drama at the Su family's engagement party today has already topped the local hot search. Turns out, Lu Chi is a total scumbag who slept with countless women abroad and even married a heavy black woman. She fell down right on the spot. Su Yao was so mad she fainted. She's probably still in the hospital, huh? Why are you not surprised at all? She seemed to realize something and suddenly squealed. Brother Ache, did you set this up? I stared at her big, sparkling eyes, full of gossip and sudden realization. I laughed and pinched her soft cheek. Why should that trashy couple get to ruin my day? Can I not send them a wedding gift? Wenning squealed with joy and jumped into my arms like a kitten catching a fish. Brother Ache, you are so bad, she said, wrapping her arms around my neck. She planted a loud kiss on my cheek, then frowned slightly with worry. Ache, are you not worried about how the Su family will react to this mess? I held her tight and said calmly, I already called Grandpa Su to apologize. He always hated Lu Chi anyway. For this engagement, he did not even show up. He said it was the perfect chance for his blind family to see Lu Kai's true colors. He even thanked me and invited me for tea. Just then, my phone rang. It was Su Zhu. After a brief hesitation, I picked up. Chun Che, I am in the hospital. Kia, can you come see me? I refused instantly. If you are sick, call a doctor. Why call me? I hung up, but she kept calling like crazy. I ignored them all. That night, the doorbell rang. I opened it, and there stood Su Zhu. She looked pale and exhausted. The moment she saw me, tears poured down. Che, I was wrong. Let us get remarried. Lu Chi tricked me. I never let him touch me. I am clean. She reached out to grab me. Che, I regret it. I have always loved you. Please forgive me. I brushed her hand off and said coldly, Miss Su, we are divorced. Have some self. No, I was wrong, Che. She seemed to remember how blindly the old me used to worship her. Emotional and sobbing, she cried. Che, I know you still care about me. You used to value me more than your own life. If I even frowned, you would get anxious. You did everything for me. I do not believe you stopped loving me. You are just angry, right? I am sorry. Let us remarry, please. And before she could finish, Wenning her pajamas, hugged me from behind. Hubby, it is cold outside. Come back in and rest. She smelled of sweet lavender body wash. I pulled her into my arms and issued an ultimatum. All right, Suzu, go home. If you stay here, my wife is going to get jealous. Su Yao turned deadly pale, biting her lip. After a long silence, she stumbled backward and fled. Watching her go, I fondly patted Wenning's head. It is summer right now. Next time you make an excuse, try to make it believable. Her face flushed red as she protested. I was just worried that Vixen would steal you away. She lowered her head, her voice softening. You do not know how everyone looked down on you back when you chased her. I teased. Weren't you always following me around back then too? Wenning stubbornly argued. That is different. How? It just is. Looking at her gorgeous face, expressive eyes, and long, slender legs. She actually looked way more beautiful than Suzu. She had just hidden her beauty behind plainclothes before. I scooped her up in my arms, startled. Wenning gasped. What are you doing? I carried her toward the bedroom, looking down at her blushing face and sparkling eyes. I gave her a mischievous smirk. Take a guess. Over the next few weeks I took Wenning to meet my parents. During my 3-year marriage to Suzu Zhao, she never once visited them. When my parents heard about our divorce, they simply said they respected my decision. I knew then that they had never liked her as a daughter, but Wenning was different. They had watched her grow up. She was always sweet and sensible. Seeing us together made them beam with joy. Wenning's mother, whose health had improved, held my hand with tears streaming down. Since the Zhang family went bankrupt, Wenning has suffered so much I really failed her as a mother. Knowing she'll be with you finally gives me peace of mind. I squeezed her fragile hand. Auntie, don't worry. I was foolish to let her go before, but never again. I will cherish Wenning for the rest of my life. Hearing this, Wenning's eyes welled with tears. She hugged her mother, choking up. Mom, don't cry. Don't say things like that, just focus on recovering. We are all going to be fine. On Kixi Festival, I took her to the most romantic restaurant in the city for a candlelit dinner. Midway through, a waiter wheeled out a cart of red roses. I pulled a diamond ring from the bouquet, dropped to one knee, and proposed, Zhang Wenning, will you marry me? Her eyes instantly flooded with tears as she covered her mouth in shock. She nodded frantically. I gently slipped the ring onto her finger. As the restaurant erupted into cheers out of the corner of my eye, I spotted Suzu. She looked bloated in her loose clothes, running out into the pouring rain until her silhouette vanished. After our wedding, we went abroad for our honeymoon. We happened to pass through the city where Lu Kai's wife lived. Since he was an old friend, I decided to pay him a visit. I found him locked in a basement, one leg broken and the other chained to the wall. He looked absolutely nothing like his former arrogant self. When he saw me walk in with my bodyguards, he went completely ballistic. Chun Che, it was you. You leaked those photos and videos at the engagement party. You bastard. I will haunt you even after I die. His wife, who had taken my money, was furious at how he insulted her honored guest. She whipped him mercilessly, making him scream. She explained that Lucci had swindled her, but a kind soul had brought him back. By then, his third leg was already broken. Fearing he would run away, she locked him down here, beating him whenever she was in a bad mood. As I turned to leave, Lucci crawled over, sobbing and begging. Chun Che, I was wrong. Please save me. Since we were in another country, and it was a domestic matter, I could not really interfere. I just offered him my deepest sympathies and walked away. His begging only enraged his wife more. As I left, the sound of whips and screams faded into the distance. 4 years later, Wenning and I were out shopping with our son. Suddenly, an adorable 3-year-old girl ran up, hugged my leg, and called me daddy. Wenning's holding our son's hand, glared at me. Hubby, since when do you have a daughter? Why didn't I know? Realizing she was mad, I panicked. Honey, let me explain. I am not listening. She looks exactly like you. She is your spitting image. Hearing me deny her, the little girl burst into tears. You are my daddy. Meow Meow is not wrong. She was so precious that her crying instantly melted Wenning's heart. Our toddler son yanked my jeans, glaring at me. Daddy, she is so cute. You cannot bully her. Wenning scooped the crying girl into her arms. Don't cry, sweetie. She looked at me. Forget it, hubby. I have always wanted a daughter anyway. And I do not plan to have more kids. She is adorable, so even if she is yours, I will accept her. Just then, a frantic Suzu Yao rushed over. She pulled the girl into her arms and bowed, apologizing repeatedly. I am so sorry. Chun Che Wenny, long time no see. She is just a child and does not know any better. Please don't mind us. We will leave now. She fled with the sobbing child, who was still screaming for her daddy. Looking at the girl's age, my heart skipped a beat as a sudden realization hit me. Wenning squeezed my hand. Hubby, if she really is your daughter, you should visit her when you can. The child is innocent. I stared at her in shock. You are not mad. Of course not. Judging by her age, she must have been conceived before we got married. Besides, you two were legally married back then. Honey, you are truly amazing. Thank you, hubby. Thank me for what? For giving me a real, loving family.